Welcome back. And in this lesson, we're going to learn about the date functions. Straight away, the first one that we are looking at is the SYSDATE. This is a one that we already encountered, and simply, without passing any of the parameters to it, it just returns current system date and time. So let's execute it, and we can see in the Oracle default format, we got returned what is the current date. Of course, this is a date format, so we can also check the time. The following function we're gonna look at is the round function. In my following query, I'm using the round function in 3 of 4 columns. And don't be confused with the toDate function. I'm using this just to make it more clearer of which date and time we are using at the moment. So my first line returns the normal date. So it's going to be 18th of October of 2021 at 13:27 p.m. Right? Let's execute this and see how it works. So my first column, the normal date, is the unchanged date. The second one, I'm rounding that date and I'm passing in a second parameter. So my first parameter is the date and the second parameter is which means months. So it's gonna round to a month value. And we got the 1st of November of 2021. How come? So we can see we are passing the 18th of October, which is past the middle of the month, and the round function is gonna round up to a higher month, which is the November. For the second parameter, we can also pass the year, and our output is the 1st of January of 2022. Again, our passed in date is in October, which is more than half of a year, and it's gonna round it up to the 2022, so the next year. And it's gonna round it to the 1st of January at midnight. If we omit the second parameter, the round function for the dates, it's gonna round to a day. And in our case, we are past noon at 13:27, and it's gonna round up to a higher day. And as we can see, this is the 19th of October of 2021. Very nice. The following one, the truncate, does pretty much similar job as the round function. Only it doesn't round up or down, it just truncates. So let's execute this example. And we can see the normal date is the 18th of October. In the second column, we are truncating to a month. So we got the 1st of October. As we can see, 18th has been truncated to 1st. A year is truncated to the 1st of January of 2021. And without the passing of second parameter, in our fourth column, we are truncating the day. So it's gonna stay the 18th of October, but it's gonna truncate it to midnight, so start of that day. The next day function returns to us a date for a day in a week, which is next accordingly to passed in date. So in my example, the 29th of May 2022 is Sunday, and we are searching for the next Monday that will occur after that date, right? So when we execute this, we get the 30th of May 2022, which is the Monday. If we change the day in the week, for example, to Wednesday, and execute this, we get the 1st of June, which is the next Wednesday after the 29th of May 2022. The last day function returns just simply the last day in month accordingly to passed in date. Notice that in those two examples, I'm using implicit conversion. I'm passing in the text in default Oracle format of the date, and Oracle Engine understands this and converts this to a date. So for the last day function, when I pass in the 10th of February 2022, it is just going to return last day in that month. So when I execute this, I get the 28th of February 2022. Just to check the correctness of this function, I know that 2024 is leap year, right? and that February in 2024 should have 29 days. So just let's check it out. And we got the correct result back, which is the 29th of February 2024. The add months function is quite self-explanatory. It just adds months to a passed-in date. Again, the first parameter, I'm using the default Oracle format, and this is going to be implicitly converted to date format. I'm using the 12th of January 2022, and I'm adding 1 month to it. So the first parameter is the date, which we want to add 2 months, and the second parameter is the number of months. So when I execute this, I get the 12th of February 2022, right? If I pick some higher number, of course, this is gonna work in the same manner. It's gonna add 4 months to 12th of January of 2020. While we are at the process of adding months to some date, let's explain how we add days or minutes to a date. So in my example, I'm gonna use the SYSDATE function, which returns the current date. And if I want to add a day to that date, I just add a number 1. The database engine will know that I'm adding 1 day to it. So when I execute this, as you can see, we get the 28th of September, which is the today's date, and the SYSDATE plus 1 is 1 day incremented, which is the 29th. But what if I want to add only 1 hour to my current date? Very simple. I just divide this by 24. The system will know to add only 1 hour to the current date. So when I execute this one, if I check the results, the SYSDATE was 9/22 of 28, and the SYSDATE plus 1 divided by 24 is 10/22 of 28th of September. Very nice. Of course, in the same manner, I can also add minutes, which is just the hour divided by 60. So in this case, the SYSDATE will add 1 minute. Very nice. The months between function checks how many months are between 2 dates that we pass into function. So my first parameter is the higher date at the moment, and the second parameter is the lower date. When I execute this function, I'll get a decimal number. So when executed, we can see between those 2 dates, the difference in months is 8.29 months. If I switch up my dates, so the first parameter is lower than the second parameter, then we'll get a negative number. So I'll just change the second parameter to a year 2023, and we'll get back a negative number. So the difference between those 2 dates is minus 15.7 months. Cool. Following 2 functions return to us an interval. The first one is number to a year-month interval, and to that function we pass in 2 parameters. The first one is number, and the second one is month or a year. So in my example, I'm passing in 38 months, and I want to check what is the interval in years and months. So when I execute this, I'm getting that 38 months is 3 years and 2 months. If I change the second parameter to a year, it is not case sensitive. And for example, I want to know how many years and months is 1.12 years. So when I execute this, we know this is 1 year and 1 month. Very nice. And in the same fashion works the number to a date second interval function. Again, the function has 2 parameters, the number and what kind of a number I'm passing into. In my example, I'm passing in 1.1 day, and I'll get back returned as how many days, hours, minutes, seconds, and fractional seconds that is. So when I execute this, we can see that is 1 day, 2 hours, 24 minutes. The second parameter can be also an hour. So when I execute this, we'll get how many days, hours, minutes, seconds, and fractions of a second, 1.1 hour it is. And we can see that is 1 hour and 6 minutes. The same applies if I pass in the second parameter as minute. You can see 1 minute and 6 seconds, or seconds. So let's execute this. And we can see this is 1.1 second. This is it for the date functions. Check out the provided materials, which contains examples that we've gone through, and try out them by yourself until you completely get the logic behind the date functions. See you in the next one.